Okay, I am here in rates number 3 KAMI assignment. And number 1, it says at the store, Jessica paid 72 cents for an 8-ounce bottle of spring water. Write down the given rate in the situation, and then what is the cost of the spring water per ounce? And so as you notice, we want the cost per ounce. And so when we write this rate, cost should be in the numerator, per is the horizontal fraction bar, ounces will be on bottom. Okay, so she paid 72 cents. So 72 cents will be in my numerator. Per, that is the horizontal fraction bar. And then ounces on bottom. This is 8 ounces. So 8 OZ. Okay, so this is the rate. If we want the cost per ounce, we want the cost per 1 ounce. The cost per 1 ounce. So we're going to set this rate equal to the unit rate. So cost per 1 ounce. Because remember, a unit rate not only compares two quantities that have different units, but it also has a denominator of 1. Okay, so we can use the scale down method here. If we go from 8 to 1, how did we go from 8 to 1? Well, we divided by 8. And so we should also divide by 8 in the numerator. So 72 cents divided by 8, that will give us how much we pay per ounce, per 1 ounce. Okay, so I can also think about dividing the numerator by the denominator. If I were to divide 72 cents by 8 ounces, that would give me the unit rate as well. Okay, so I could do 72 cents divided by 8 ounces. Okay, work it out from there. My decimal comes straight up. 8 cannot go into 7, it goes in 0 times, but 8 goes into 72 9 times because 9 times 8 is 72. So once I subtract, I get 0. Okay, so this is 0.09 or 9 cents. All right, so it's 9 cents per ounce. 9 cents per ounce. Number 2, a bucket is leaking. After 3 hours, the bucket has leaked 3/4 of an ounce. How many ounces per hour is the bucket leaking? So we want ounces per hour. Okay, so ounces will be on top, per is the horizontal fraction bar, hours on bottom. So let's put our ounces on top. That's 3/4 of an ounce. So I got 3/4 of an ounce. Per hours. Hours are on bottom, so 3 hours. So we want how many ounces per hour. So ounces per 1 hour. And so to get the unit rate here, I can divide the top by the bottom. So 3/4 divided by 3. 3/4, that's the top number, divided by the bottom number of 3, or 3/1. So now I'm dividing fractions, so I keep the first number. I'm using KFC here. Keep the first number, take the reciprocal of 3, or flip 3 to be 1/3. After I keep, flip, then I change from division to multiplication. Then I look and see, can I cross simplify? I have a 3 on top and a 3 on bottom, and I know 3/3 is 1. So these 3's simplify to 1. Then I just multiply as normal, multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1. On the bottom, the denominators, 4 times 1 is 4. So I get 1/4, and this is ounces per hour. So OZ, ounces per hour. 1/4 ounces per hour. Okay, and that answers the question, right? It says how many ounces per hour is the bucket leaking? 1/4 of an ounce per hour. Number 3, after 15 minutes, a train has moved 9/2 miles toward its destination. How many miles per minute is the train moving? So miles on top of the rate, per is the horizontal fraction bar, minutes are on bottom. So let's put miles on top. That's 9/2 mile. 9/2 mile per minute. How many minutes? 15 minutes. So 15 minutes. How many miles per minute? So we want miles per 1 minute. So this is the unit rate. We're comparing miles to minutes, and we want our bottom number to be 1. I could also draw it like this. I could set this rate equal to another rate with miles on top and minutes on bottom. And I'm looking for how many miles per 1 minute? And so I could say, how do I get from 15 to 1? Well, I divided by 15. So I'm using the scale down method. If I divide by 15 on the bottom, I should also divide by 15 in the top. But as you can see, this is the same thing as taking the numerator, 9 halves, and dividing by 15. Okay, either method will get me the unit rate. Okay, so I have top number 9 halves, and I'm dividing this by the bottom number of 15, or 15 over 1. So I'm dividing by a fraction. That tells me I can multiply by the reciprocal, or I can use KFC, right? Keep the first fraction, 9 halves, flip the second fraction to be 1/15, and then I change from division to multiplication. I look and see, can I cross simplify? What about 9 over 15? Well, 9 and 15 are both divisible by 3, so I can divide them both by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Now I multiply the top numbers. 3 times 1 is 3, and 2 times 5 is 10. So I get 3/10 what? This is 3/10 miles per minute. So miles, MI, per minute. Miles per minute. 3/10 miles per minute. Okay, number 4, a snack that Reginald just bought has 150 calories in 3/4 of a serving. How many calories per serving? So we want calories on top, per is the horizontal fraction bar, servings are on bottom. So calories would be 150 calories per servings. How many servings? 3/4 of a serving. So 3/4 serving. If I want how many calories per 1 serving, again, I want the unit rate. So top number divided by bottom number, I would have 150, or 150 over 1 divided by 3/4. 3/4. And I'll let you finish from there. You would use KFC, keep, flip, and then change. And your label will be calories per serving. Calories per serving. Number 5, the grocery store, a 16-ounce bottle of apple juice costs $3.20. And so you want the cost per ounce. And so you would set your rate up with the cost on top because you want cost per ounce. And so you would have $3.20. It's $3.20 per ounces. So per 16 ounces. And you would figure out from there, how much is it for 1 ounce? So $3.20 divided by 16. So here, number 7, it says you can burn 470 calories for 2 hours. And so I would fill the table in. It's 470 for 2 hours. And so based on this information, I can figure out how much it is for 1 hour, right? I can set up a rate. It's 470 calories. I burn 470 calories for 2 hours. And I can set this rate equal to some number of calories in 1 hour. Okay, then I ask myself, how do I get from 2 to 1? Well, I divide it by 2, right? And so I take 470 and divide by 2, and that would give me how many calories in 1 hour. And that's what I would fill in there. Now, if I want to figure out how many is in 3 hours, I could take my whatever this number is, and I could set this equal to another rate of calories in 3 hours. Okay, and I could say, how do I get from 1 to 3? Well, I multiplied by 3. And so I would take this number and multiply by 3 to get some number of calories in 3 hours. Okay, and then we could do the same thing for 4 hours and 5 hours. Figure out how many calories you would burn for 4 hours and 5 hours and fill in the table there. Here, number 7, it says a full strip plus another half. So if you have 1 full, that's 1 plus a half. So that would be 1 and 1/2, right? So for 1 and 1/2 strips, you have 315 staples. And so we need to figure out how much for a half a strip, how much for 1 strip, how much for 2 strips, how much for 2.5 strips. And so we need to set up a rate here. So let's do it's 315 staples. I'll use S for staples. 315 staples per 1 1/2 strips. So 1 1/2 strips. Okay, and I would set this equal to some number of staples for one strip. Okay, so maybe here I could use cross multiply divide. Let me change this question mark to a variable x, and I would multiply these guys together. So 1 1/2 times x. 1 1/2 times x is equal to, and then I'll multiply these guys together. So 315 times 1, that's 315, right? Then I need to divide both sides by the number in front of x, which would be 1 1/2. So divide both sides by 1 1/2. Divide both sides by 1 1/2. So those 1 1/2s cancel. And so x, your unknown number, is equal to 315 divided by 1 1/2. So I could say 315 over 1 divided by, if I use the C method to make 1 1/2 improper, it would be 3/2, right? And so now I'm dividing by a fraction. I can use KFC, keep, flip, and change, and that would give your unknown number here, okay, which would be how many staples for one strip, okay? I could follow a similar process to figure out this number, and this number. Okay, part A here, Tim's bucket is filling at a rate of 1/2 cup per 2/3 minute. What is the unit rate for Tim's bucket? So I have 1/2 cup per 2/3 minute. Remember to find the unit rate. How can you find the unit rate? Take top divided by bottom, and that would give you Tim's bucket's rate. Jeff's bucket is 1/3 cup per 1/4 minute, To get the unit rate, take top number divided by bottom number. Okay, once you have their unit rates, you're going to compare them and say whose bucket is filling faster, and you would circle that answer. Okay, once you've shown all of your work, you can click Turn In.